Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of Old Grumblers podcast. Kind of sounds weird, right? New episode, old. With me today, we have my lovely co-hosts, Monster Bound and Colonel Damders, also owner of the channel.
It's me.
Today, we will be talking about all the reveals there were for Lords of the End Time, the new DLC of Warhammer 3, and also talk about what is the most opulent animal you can have that isn't trashy. A lot of people would say a big cat, maybe a lion or something like that. Personally, I think you either have to go with giraffes or, listen, beavers. You got to be kind of a mad lad to have beavers. Sounds like a really
the densest fur in the animal kingdom.
It doesn't. Normal people have chinchilla. It's not an opulent animal to own. If you could just have them as a poor.
That's got a chinchilla?
I've known like 3 people that have chinchillas.
Shut up.
It's just a small rat, isn't it?
I guess.
It is. Like, what are you talking about? How is that an opulent animal?
Just have a small of rats. There's been a big rat that we're also going to talk about today. Big rat that's been leaked by Papa Sega. So CA probably aren't too happy about it, and Games Workshop definitely aren't too happy about that, but I mean, we all knew. But yeah, there was the What's Next 9.0, an end time stream that Josh did with some guys. I'm pretty sure it was Sean and I always forget his name, the main guy. What's his name? The guy's...
No, you got grey hair, man. Is that Sean?
No, the Sean. It's not even... Is it even Sean? I don't know. We should know these people better. Anyway, so there was a CA stream with Josh and some irrelevant people who honestly didn't contribute anything. It was all Josh. That's all my eyes were drawn to. And they talked about...
I met him in real life. He's really nice as well. That's the horrible parts.
So yeah, they talked about the new Crises and Endgames, victory conditions being changed, vampire counts rework, Glottkin reveal. There was a lot of stuff in this, so I've actually made some notes, guys. I've got 500 pages. Yeah, 500 pages of notes, and by pages I mean words. And then of course the legendary log.
It's just one of those Charlie like conspiracy boards.
I should really fill that in one of these days and like just drag the desk over.
Oh, that would be such a good bit as well. It's like, yeah.
So yeah, so we'll just follow the structure of the stream. So first thing, the new Crises and Endgame. So have either of you two watched this at all?
A little bit.
Okay, I'll go over it then, and feel free to interject as and when. Just talk straight with me, I don't care. So apparently they will now... So Crises events before, they just kind of like, you said, oh yeah, it'll happen at this turn, and then they just kind of happened. So apparently now there'll be like foreshadowing events. So the one that they specified was Archeon. So like 10, for example, turns before the crisis begins, it'll be like, oh, Archeon's disappeared. Where could he possibly go? And then you're like, oh, shit, I know what's coming. Archeon's going to come back. And he's going to come back in a major way. So you'll still be able to choose which ones are available and when they happen. And each endgame will have unique mechanics and bespoke AI goals rather than just running it down mid at you, which is what the crises did at the minute. Like they just spawn a load of armies and they're like, oh, you! And then they just run at you, which is not the most immersive. And it is mentioned that we'll have 3 of them, so it's presumably the 3 factions from the End Times. So Chaos, which is mentioned, Vampire Counts / Nagash, and then, of course, the Skaven, which should be fun. And then the one that we saw was Archeon's endgame event. So all of Chaos will be united under Archeon because he's, of course, the Ever-Chosen, which I'm sure you guys have no comments about at all, about Archeon being the best.
He's lame.
Yes.
So all their territory will, instead of like having your dark fortresses and your ruins and Noskra and all this, everything will just be razed to the ground and devastated, which means that it is uninhabitable, kind of like when the Bloodgrounds ritual thing is complete from the Beastmen, was my understanding. And then they just keep moving forward, so it's literally just like a wave of chaos destroying the earth, and then the devastation kind of like really negatively impacts neighboring zones, so when you're on the front lines, it gets real tough. And then Archeon himself will receive a massive amount of ward save. Now, it says Archeon. Do you think it means Archeon or Archeon's army? Because 95% ward save and Archeon's all well and good. But if you kill his entire army and he's just like there, and it's like when you're fighting Malice and he's just fighting for like 40 minutes, you're like, can you just die, please? I'm going to win, but it's going to take a minute.
Yeah, if you get him down to like, he's like, aha, I will only take 5% damage, and then you've got like a line of your non-iron sides with all the amethyst ammo. You're like, I don't think you're going to survive, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, I would have to imagine it'd be his army, because it'd been just him, it'd be. You just get really
No, you
cringe
can't. You
battles.
can't fight an army that has 95% ward save.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the point, though, isn't it?
That's getting bonkers. Like obviously, like you can in some way, but like that's bonkers in that case.
But yeah, I think that should be the point. Like his army itself is completely unkillable. So to get it down, you have to take out his dark fortresses and take out his. I think they call him like his lieutenants, but it's just the other chaos armies that are invading the world. So you just take them all out until you've got just him left. And I forgot to mention that devastated land cannot be recolonized until Archeon is taken out. So this is going to be like a real world-altering event, which is very, very cool.
Yeah,
it sounds.
Yeah,
really
they worked a lot. It seems on making like the map look different. So it's not just like corruption damage, basically like it used to be, but actually like things are being different. That seems pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. They also showed the changes to Archeon himself and his horse.
Yes, he got
some
updates.
Looks like they turned the saturation up.
Yeah, when I was looking, I was like, I mean, it just looks like the contrast is different. He's like darker. I get why, because the lighting in Warhammer 1 was like moodier, so he was like a lighter model, so that when under the Warhammer 1 lighting, he looked okay, but then the Warhammer 3 lighting is a bit lighter, so they need him to be darker. So he's going to look basically the same, but just like better. It was a really bizarre thing to show when it was just like, oh, here's one, here's the other, and it's just it's like darker.
Yeah, that's just wait, why are you showing this?
Yeah, less washed out. It looks kind of weird, yeah. But hopefully they fix stuff like clipping and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, like
or maybe even new
if they're taking
maybe
the
even new animations.
Yeah, if they're like going to that level of attention to detail, it's just kind of like a good sign generally. It could be that they're just going into that attention to detail for Archeon and everything else will be shit, which I wouldn't say is impossible. I'm going to hope that it's not. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I really like the idea of crises, and the existing ones are awful.
Yeah,
and I like this idea. My only concern is like I do feel like Total War in the end game does get quite grindy.
Yeah,
and I think my main problem is unless there's something to break up the. I mean, okay, so it spawns hostile armies, which is fine. But unless it's giving you, and it's it's nice to survive as well. But unless it's like giving you some sort of like, yeah, you do this and you get this bonus, I guess. I just kind of like, I don't really care. I guess it's fine, but it's just feels like wading my way through.
Yeah,
stack upon stack of chaos guys.
I think win. I think given that, and we'll get to the victory conditions in a little bit, that they're reworking those, I have to imagine that there is a reward for completing the end game and pushing back Archeon. And I think it also was mentioned that when the end times begins, end times presumably being the end game event, you get like huge bonuses to diplomatic relations with everyone that isn't on the side of chaos. So you'll have it'll be like the old order side again. You have like the Giga Alliance of everyone that's left trying to fight their way to victory. So
the shield of civilization. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And I'm going to take credit for this. This was on this very podcast, and if I can find it, if I can be bothered, I'll put the clip on screen now.
Have you this may seem out of left field. Have you played much Stellaris?
I've played some Stellaris, yeah.
There's an option, one of the DLCs, to become the Crisis. I think it would be kind of cool to see something like that. Like if you're playing as a Archeon, you get a certain amount of something, and it's like, right, you become the Crisis, you confederate all the other Chaos factions or Warriors of Chaos factions, and then just steamroll the world. That'd be a cool power fantasy to see. It's an option.
You're saying that you're not the Crisis anyway. Whenever I play Archeon, I'm always the Crisis.
Yeah. But, just make it official.
Let's get a title. Let's get a little pop-up. You are now the Crisis.
Congratulations. Some confetti on screen.
When I said to Sean, what wouldn't it be nice if you could become the Crisis when you were playing as Archeon? Because, he's good and all, but, I want to become the Crisis. And lo and behold, they stole my idea. And by that, I mean, it was probably in the works already.
No, I talked about that on my stream as well, like that you said that, and how Sean was like, well, when I play him, I always feel like the Crisis. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased myself on that one. I'll give myself a little prediction pat on the back. Yeah, after a short victory condition, you can choose to just have like the regular rewards, which we'll come to, or you can choose to become the Crisis, in which case you'll basically just do the opposite, thing. So you will gain everyone's lands, and you'll gain presumably 50 armies, which I don't know about you.
Ugh.
Can't be asked. Cannot be asked with that.
Too many armies.
Yeah, I've seen your Skull Taker campaign. I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was too many armies.
presumably there'll be less bonuses, so I don't think you'll get all the armies, and you will not get all the ward save, because otherwise it would just be far too easy. But it will just be like the same scenario of you against everyone and the devastation and all that stuff, which sounds pretty neat.
Yeah,
I like that.
I hope it would make most of those armies be like vassals or something, and then
Yeah.
you can like dip in if you want to. That would be cool.
Yeah, making it so that it like utilizes the is it the allegiance system where you can like tell people where to attack, but make it so they actually do it? That'd be pretty
That'd be
nice. So if you just be like, hey boss, on my over in Nagaroth, you just go down, kill the lizard men for me, and they're like, on it, Mr. Everchosen, sir.
Yeah, it's really one of those immersion issues, isn't it? Like how you want them to do stuff, but also like they're supposed to be their own kind of dudes, so they're just being like, we have other things to do right now. We're getting there. I'm just going to go there. And it's like 5 turns already before they're just meandering around in the waste or something before they decide to do anything. But like you're Archeon, right? So obviously they should do what you say.
Yeah, but what the AI should do and what the AI does do are very different things. But this does make me think, because I'm fairly sure, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this. This is the one thing I didn't take notes on because I'm not a professional. I believe they said that you can have multiple endgame crises at the same time still. So, if you have Chaos and Nagash and Skaven, you can have all 3 of those at the same time, and presumably you can play as all 3 of those as well. So you can play as a Skaven or the vampires or whatever. So,
yeah, that's pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like in the end times, the Nagash helps humanity and like is on the good side, which is a fun little tidbit there.
I would.
So if you have all of if you have all of the 3 ones, you should be able to ally with Nagash, but you're gonna have to probably do what Nagash says, because that dude doesn't take many orders.
I have to imagine that they wouldn't make it so that like the Order Tide is like, oh come on Nagash, let's take on Chaos together. I have to imagine that from a gameplay perspective, they would just have it be he is a separate threat that you maybe also have to deal with. Or maybe it'll be like a dialogue thing where it can be like, oh, side with Nagash or don't side with Nagash. And then if you do, it like costs like a big, control penalty across your territory because everyone's like, what the fuck are we doing?
So how they come into alliance is basically that Nagash understands that things are looking very bad with end times. So I think it's the siege of is it Nuln or Middenheim that is just basically losing. Like Karl Franz is bleeding out. Everything is just doing shit. Nurgle has even summoned what's his name, Kugath into us. You have Festus being insane in some basements. The Glottkins are fighting everything and murdering everything. Luen is also being stabbed to death, and Vlad is just like sailing down to help them essentially, because he understands that desperate times and all that. So he just goes in, and the undead just come and help the humans that are in a nightmare situation, and it's become just a little bit more nightmarish with all the undead monsters and ghosts and shit like that. Just starting to murder the demons. They're like, stab that one.
I'm just imagining the scene in Endgame where it's like Thanos hits it with a hammer, and then it's like, who threw that? And it's Galmaraz thrown by Vlad, and then they all just. Yeah, it sounds like we've got some opportunities for cool cinematics if they can be bothered doing that, because that would be really sick to see. But
yeah,
we give them an opportunity to try and top the Immortal Empires thing. God, I tear up when I watch that. It's so cool. I feel like such a nerd. Like the guy when Star Wars Force Awakens got announced and he's just crying and freaking out. That's how I feel watching the Immortal Empires one. I was like, oh, dude, they're all there.
I mean, the coolest things in the game that ever happens is that when another completely different faction comes and helps you in battle, that's just like great. I mean, they're absolutely garbage in battles, but whenever it works, it's just so goddamn cool. Like when you go in and help them.
Yeah, once in a blue moon, and then they're useless anyway, but damn, it feels cool.
Yeah. It's usually pretty cool when that happens. We want more of those things, and maybe we'll get more of those as well.
I mean, yeah, the on the alliance thing, like the no matter if the end times are individual or you can get all of them at once. It just does give a lot of opportunity to like ally with people and actually make alliances feel a bit more meaningful, because alliances in the like normal game are kind of pointless because you don't get any help and there isn't really a threat that's normally big enough to require help if you're playing decently enough. Let's talk about
I mean, you can get help. It's just not help that you're gonna appreciate. That's basically the AI. It's just monkey pawing shit, isn't it? Like they're like you're always sitting there and like, why won't you help me, dwarf ally? You have 60 places. Please help me with this. And they're like, ah. Then you're just like, well, please help me. And then it takes like 20
actually,
turns.
we're having a conference in this settlement. All of our 12 armies are currently just standing around.
And then as soon as you're actually winning and you like crush their armies, then they're like, "Meow, meow," and come over the mountain, and then they just take all the settlements that were rightfully yours.
Yeah.
And you're like, and they're like, "Meow, you're welcome," meow, and then you just leave again.
Yeah.
That's the dwarfs in my head canon.
Yeah, I feel like the end times event of like just apocalypse, it will allow the alliances to feel more impactful because they won't have any choice but to fight anything else but the chaos. So if they just sit in all the settlements, like they'll just get wiped out. So it will force them to at least interact a bit in some way, which would be nice. But presumably this is all going to come with, I think they mentioned like quality of life updates and sieges and AIs and things. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, because this is also going to be the
9.0.
Yeah. So have they said anything about the siege updates or happening then?
They just simply said that the siege update is not being talked about in this stream, and it is coming. So that's it. That's all we got.
Oh, so they have said it's like going to be for a 9.0?
I believe so. Someone, me, will have to rewatch the stream and double check. But if it is or isn't, it'll be on screen.
Yeah, no, that's like dang, sieges really need some help. They're way too sportsman like. It's like, oh yeah, sorry, bad lads, they took the market square and then they're standing in the corner. We just gotta leave. Actually, you're not leaving. All of you are dying. I don't know.
I was playing a siege in my cafe campaign because I've been playing the Walk the Dragon mod, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But I was like, I looked at the map and I was like, I guarantee we won't go past this point. It was like the little leadership one. I think it was like, you know, the map that's got two gates at the front and then you got like the channel, then the leadership one, and then right at the back you've got like the actual victory point. I was like, we will not get even close to this, guaranteed. And we didn't, because the entire army just met me at the walls. And then I just annihilate them. Well, sieges are so... I don't know how you could fix them is the problem. They're so ass, and I don't know how you can make them not ass.
Yeah, honestly, they need some help, because right now it's like, oh yeah, you have your 20 dudes, you can go in one place, they'll have 3 dudes there on the walls, and then they'll have like, they'll just go like bond henchmen, basically like one at a time at you, and sometimes 3, and you just smash them.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So the final bit of Chaos update is Sigvald will now be a Slaanesh champion instead of Undivided. Which...
That's good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still going to be Warriors of Chaos, right? But it's going to be like more Slaanesh-y.
I think it just means he'll be like Azazel. Like he can't use anything else. He's just like strictly Slaanesh. So
yeah. Oh, that's good.
I mean, that way you've got like you've got 2 Slaanesh, you've got 2 Undivided in in fact, you got 3 Undivided because you have Bellicor.
That's how he should be. Good old pervert Sigvald.
Jazz hands.
His wings.
I just think you were doing jazz hands for some reason. That's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind jazz hands with Bellicor.
You guys don't.
Seems like a jazz hand kind of fella.
Right. Anything else on end times or end games, I guess? Are we ready for victory conditions, which is my favorite thing?
Let's go victory conditions. I'm excited about this.
Yep. I mean, I have literally like
with
3
one caveat.
They did also say for the end games that there are unique music and movies.
Yes,
is what they said. So movies is cool. I don't cool. Like movies is what people want. I don't know why. I don't know why I want it. Why anybody else wants it. But god damn it, if you don't enjoy at least for the first 30 turns is watching your ninja try to assassinate somebody in their castle, and then you're just failing. You're like,
presumably they're talking about like a big old cutscene that's like, Archeon is here, and then...
Yeah, probably something like that, which is fine.
Yeah. Victory conditions. So, I only have like 3 bullet points because there really isn't much to say about unless I was like pulling apart the examples and be like, oh, this is what this person's got. So,
I just need to get this out of my brain. But imagine if they have like if you win versus the Crisis, and it's like always just your lord or whatever beating them. So like Arcan lays there, and then like Thoric is just gonna like A-pose is like glide over and then like turn around to the camera.
They have the same animation,
like,
but they like don't accommodate for the rigging at all. So it's like it's really well animated if you're playing as Cal, but if you're playing as like Oxyol, it's just like super duper stretched.
Yeah. Or just an A-pose is gliding up, and they're like victory. All right, we can go on to the next thing. I just need to get that out.
Fair enough. So yeah, victory conditions. Currently, they're apparently shared by culture, which sounds like cope because they basically have the same ones for every single person. It's like raise a bunch of people, maybe attack a certain settlement. They're ass. I've been talking about victory conditions overhaul mod for years because it is excellent, and this sounds like it's going to do just that. So rip my goat, I guess, although it could still be better. So the plan is for everyone to have bespoke goals and rewards for these short and long victory to encourage players to continue playing afterwards. So your short victory, he'll be like, take out a couple of nearby threats, I should really pull the stream. Like do short victory condition things, take out major threats, maybe get a couple of settlements. One of them for tic-tac-toe is actually have 5 Ripidactyls or 5 flying units of rank 6 or above, so that's pretty cool. To have it like, it end on a battle is what they said, which it's pretty neat. Unless you sit there and just spam training heroes and then just sit on end turn for a while, which would be pretty lame. And then afterwards,
as long as you can't win them just by pressing end turn all the time, that's good.
Yeah. And then you will get like rewards to encourage you to play on Steve. It's literally just victory conditions overhaul, but official, which is what I've been asking for. And another thing that I mentioned to Sean, so he owes me some royalty checks on this one, I'm afraid.
What rewards do you get? Because I noticed there were no rewards.
Yes, they didn't show anything.
No, it does say that they have focused rewards though.
Mm-hmm. So focused on what your faction is good at. So presumably, if you're playing as like Elspeth, you'll get 1% missile strength.
I always just feel like that's just like a throw inward, like you get rewards like I said, focused rewards, focused, or like special.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, but I'm also a bit like, please don't give us, +3 heroes or something.
I mean,
I don't care about
the conditions that they showed looked good. I'm going to re-pull this.
Yes.
+3 global recruitments for Dark Elves again. Like we used to have. Ooh. I miss that. No, I don't do that.
Let me find the one they actually showed. But they're still talking about bloody Archeon Shield because of shit. Right, so I think this is Sorix, they say. I'll read. Oh no, Thorgrims. My apologies. So, destroy Crooked Moon, Ironclaw Orcs, finish 2 Ages of Reckonings, or in Tier 2, confederate 2 Dwarf Lords, complete Legendary Grudge, and build a landmark in Karaz-Akarak. Yeah, but they don't show any rewards. I think the ones in Victory Conditions Overhaul they were quite bespoke.
Very good.
They were focused rewards.
Very focused.
Very focused.
Yeah, they were great. If they just copied the homework of that mod, or just were like, hey, can you just give us a code for this and we'll implement it in-game officially and change some law, I would be so happy with that because that mod rocks.
I think one of the things about that mod was that it gives you 3.
Yeah, it gives you at least a couple of options for everyone.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like so you each time you play you could go like, maybe I'll just do this one.
Yeah,
maybe I'll try and do all of them, and that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
So I like this. Like it's definitely better than normal, but I still have a sneaky suspicion that the Victory Condition mod will still be the goat.
Mog it. So for Taurox, claim Rampage or 2 times. I'm just trying to think of like what turn is they're thinking of this. Ruination level 3, win 3 battles in 1 turn. That's pretty funny. Raise mind capacity, kill mind. Yeah, so it looks like they're probably looking at like turn 40 to 50-ish to finish most of these. Or to finish at least one I'm looking at, which is Taurox, which would be my estimate based on this stuff. So, and then presumably long victory would be similar sort of length. So, just looking at it, probably getting close to like maybe 100 turns, which I think is fine because 100 turns is a long-ass campaign. If it feels long when you get to 100 turns, you're like, damn, I've been playing this for a campaign for a long time.
Yeah, I think 100 or 120 turns is like That's decent for long campaign. When you go over to like 150 or stuff like that, you're getting like to just grindy territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like giving incentive because, if it's us and we're just playing flight content, then you will just play forever. But if you are like just an average person that's just hopping on to have fun, then you're not going to play if there's like no incentive. So
I don't know. I always feel like that's like when I didn't do con and I played like Attila, I would just go into my my campaign. It's like, what do you mean it crashed at turn 230? This is bullshit. And then I go into like the Twitch directory sometimes and see like someone playing it, playing Warhammer 3, and I'm like, dang, you're on turn 329 and you hardly conquered half of that corner. That's great. And you just like talk to them and they're just having the best time and you're like, dang, that's goddamn great. I just love seeing it, dude.
I mean, yeah, I think for more casual players, this is definitely a really good change. Give you something to work towards that's a bit more specific. So I hate loading into a campaign and be like, right, what do I want to do? Obviously, the game forces you in certain directions with who you end up at war with. But I like to have a goal of like, right, I want to take out this person and I want to take this settlement and build this thing. Those are always the best campaigns for me. So yeah, looking forward to it. Hope it turns out good. And just, they really need to make sure the rewards are good, because otherwise who's going to give a shit about, like, it's cool having a goal, but to play beyond that, I want the reward to be something not just focused, but good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Focused and good rewards.
The victory conditions mod does have some things that are really, really good that you get when you win, and that's always fun. Because like when you won, it doesn't matter. You're snowballing like crazy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Vampire counts?
Vampire counts.
Vampire counts. So we didn't actually see anything, but we got some new features announced and some reworked features announced. And spoilers, they are getting basically every single thing about them is going to be brand new. So reworked things first, because that's easy to talk about. So Raise Dead is now going to be, from what I understood, their like base method of recruitment. So every time you win a battle, you will accumulate corpses, which is a new currency that you'll then use to recruit units. And these can be used for lower tier units up to, I believe they said, tier 3. And then higher tier units will receive a rare resource that they were calling, I think they were calling like Blood Kisses Plus or something at the moment, but that's just a placeholder. So corpses, I believe they said would be local, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the advanced resource would be global because it's a bit rarer. And then buildings, to keep buildings relevant, they now contribute to unit capacity. So I think it'll be something like Nurgle, where like you just have this base pool of units and then you can just summon them wherever you are. I would assume instantly. They might even borrow the low health thing from Nurgle, because that is one of their better mechanics. I wouldn't mind them just like stealing across in its own little way.
I mean, like lore-wise, I can guess why summoning a bunch of Nurgle dudes somewhere is a thing, but like Race Dead, if you're a good necromancer, any half-assed necromancer like my grandpappy Jeremy, you would just summon them on the spot. Like you just have a bunch of corpses, you just put them out on the cart, you put them there, and then you summon them. Easy peasy. You don't even summon, you just race them.
I mean, there is that, but it's just balance. Like the vampire counts at the moment with Raised Dead are annoying enough in that you kill their army and then one turn later the same army is there because they just raised the dead because you had a big battle.
But it's also like the part of their actual thing. Like as long as you don't have, a bunch of terror geese straight away and you have like a bunch of big green carts. Dang, I'm so it's so late right now. I'm losing. Yeah, Mortis engines, stuff like that straight away. If it's like zombies and skeletons and they just raise like three, then it's just a cool fucking battle, I think.
I think
like,
maybe
really?
they could do something where it's like, and I have infinite thoughts about the vampire counts, obviously, that it's like you have a certain capacity for units that you can recruit per turn, or like raise per turn, and then the more elite the unit, the more of your capacity it takes up. So like you can recruit like 20 skeletons or 20 zombies in a single turn, but you can only recruit, maybe like 4 Graveguard or something.
Yeah.
Just keep things in check. Because otherwise they could just spiral out of control if they have literally nothing, they can just poof armies out of nowhere. But yeah, I mean that sounds like a great change. I've been asking for a proper Raised Dead mechanic for years. So yay. They did say on the slide that Blood Kisses, Bloodlines, Building Trees, all getting reworks, but they didn't really mention much outside of the Unique Capacities. And I love Unique Capacities, just going to touch on that. I think they're a great thing. I love the Unique Capacities mod. I love that it's in SFO. Any mod that uses Unique Capacities, I'm a fan of that mod. It's great.
Yeah, as long as more stuff has... Like, it's always weird if vampire counts would have unit capacity for like shitty stuff.
Yeah.
For the better stuff, I can get that.
Presumably it would be for those higher tier units that they've been talking about, but
I also want to say, since my chat has been coming in and saying this at the start of every month, happy 9 years and 10 months since the last Vampire Counts DLC.
It's gonna be 10 years, isn't it? Oh my god, that's crazy. I feel
10
so
years,
old.
it's insane.
I got a Reddit notification that was like, happy Cake Day. It was my 8-year Reddit anniversary for this channel's Reddit account. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm too old. I was talking about...
You're definitely old.
I was talking to my friend about, oh man, for some reason I thought about Black Ops 3 and I was like, damn, I used to love playing zombies. And I looked and that game is like over 10 years old and I'm like, no, it's not.
You can't even feel in your knees when it's gonna rain. That's how young you are.
I can smell it in the air.
That's actually a thing about humans are the best animal on the planet to smell rain. That's
you can just tell you
facts.
walk outside and like it just smells a bit like gunpowder almost, I guess.
So we are the best animal at doing that. Not at smelling water. That's a different thing, like bodies of water and stuff like that. But smelling rain is something that humans are insanely good at.
I said that. I like went outside and said it smells like rain. Someone laughed at me. I was like, go outside and tell me it don't smell like it's gonna rain. Yeah. And then it rained. Anyway, so the new features. Oh wait, one more thing that's getting reworked. Vlad and Isabella can now choose to become either lords or heroes in each other's campaigns, which that's great. I like them fighting together, but I also like them having their own armies. You get another legendary lord. It's great.
Everyone's going to hunt Isabella again for the regen trait. Nah, she probably won't have the regen trait, but still.
And then the new features. First up, Vampire Layers, which it seems like is going to be... I didn't really understand this one. It seems like it's going to be a new way to recruit lords as part of the Bloodlines. Now, I believe they were talking about this being like a specific settlement. You like then go capture, and then it seemed like you upgrade it, and then when you summon the lord, they'll be more powerful based on that. It wasn't very clear. They didn't give us a lot of details. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but...
it could be something like coves or something like that. Because vampire layers, like lore-wise, you have those in the Ulrika books, for example, where you just have like vampires doing a nest, and then they own like a brothel or something like that, and they drink the blood from people, and having your blood drunk from by a vampire in Warhammer is like heavily narcotics. They kind of become addicted to it straight away. They become swains, is what it's called.
Super sexy vampires.
Yeah. No, the Ulrika books are great. I highly recommend them. You can 100% tell that they were written at the same time as this writer was binging True Blood. It's actually, they're really good. Even like I say that as if it's a bad thing, but like they take a lot of cool stuff from it. Definitely go check them out.
Yeah, the mechanic, it seems... I mean, I like having a way to limit armies, because if they're not going to limit recruitment, then you definitely need to limit armies, similar to the Tomb Kings and their dynasties, but the dynasty system sucks. Because it's just a slow research tree. It's very boring. Yeah, new way to recruit new lords, and they're all going to be part of a bloodline, so it seems like there's going to be no more generic lords, so they'll just be all the bloodlines lords, which I would presume might get a bit of a tweak, so you can, differentiate them a bit more, because let's be honest, they're a little bit similar these days. A little bit. Some of them. Anyway. And then they're going to have a confederation feature, which I believe Nagash has in the... Is it Legions of Nagash, the mod? He has something for that where you confederate all the undead. So maybe we'll see something like that. You can now convert regions to an undead wasteland. This is very briefly touched on, and presumably it just makes the area better for you, whereas for everyone else, but it can be undone if they then take whatever foothold you have in that land, and presumably it would just like shit corruption outwards, so... would be pretty bad for everyone else.
It feels like it's kind of like the Kala's thing, where she, sucks off regions of people. So at the same time, you do something similar there to actually corrupt it. But confederation features are great. Everybody loves those. Like recruits, defeated legend lords have literally been like one of the top 4 or 5 or top 3 mods for like. I don't know, like since Warhammer 2 at least.
Yeah, I have perpetually had in Warhammer 2 I did the like confederate anyone that's in your same faction mod. Like I've always had that enabled, like no matter who I was playing, because I just wanted all the legendary lords. I like having my Pokemon, okay? I have my Pokemon of vampire lords. I like it. It makes me happy.
Yeah. It's great.
Oh, I'm getting a delivery. Oh my god. What a lovely bowl of mush. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh my god, that's so hot. now.
Is that what they fight for in the dudes who ride wolves in Warcraft 3? Because I remember they yelled at mush.
Whoosh. It's actually it's real nice, but I'm locked in. Right. And
tell us what's in the mush.
It's a Moroccan curry sauce. It's got beef mince and then some spices, some tomato paste, some stock, and then it's got a chickpea in this, some chickpeas,
nice.
Some onions, the garlic. It's good, and then some rice. It's nice.
Sounds pleasant.
It's wonderful. Nice. I highly recommend. Brian Lagerstrom on YouTube. If you ever want any good recipes, he does some bangers. I make like all of his stuff. Anywho, the final new feature, although also can count as a rework, if you ask me, shouldn't really be in the new feature tab, is the tech tree. Presumably is going to get more scroll bars, and I believe it's getting one more page.
Yeah.
To be dedicated to something. I didn't get the most.
So it's good with another page for another scroll bar.
3 scroll bars. I can't wait.
It's just great. That's what you want.
But that is the vampire counts. I'm very excited. Of course, we're going to see more of this presumably later. Josh was saying that they're going to do a lot more regular streams, so hopefully we keep getting more information. Keeps feeding this podcast stuff to talk about.
Maybe somebody can say that in the comments as well. It's because I've asked them like, so the tech trees, they have the scroll bar. Why do they have them? Why can't you format them like Crex? And the answer I always get is like, it has to work on every resolution. So if anyone in the comments know what resolution are they aiming for that doesn't have scroll bars, let us know.
It's like one of those, it's the res that like CSGO professional players play on, where it's like 480 by like 650 or something. It's like really awkward, so you can get a bigger head to click on.
Yeah, it's like 670 at 133 or something.
There is. So yeah, vampire counts. I'm excited. I do
Very
wonder
cool.
if, I hope Tomb Kings get some attention in the Undead, but I don't think they are. And I hope the Vampire Coast gets some attention, but I don't think they are. Vampire Coast might inherit some of this, that being said.
Yeah, but Vampire Coasts are probably old and forgotten. That's like my litmus test nowadays to when people come into the channel and say like, oh no, I play a lot of Total War, Warhammer 3 actually. I was like, oh yeah, how much? How much do you like the Vampire Coast?
I remember the trailer for them. I was like, damn, no, this looks so sick. I was like, oh, vampires and pirates. Like, what more could I want? I hadn't had any new vampire stuff for years. And then you play them, you're like, wow, these guys are kind of cheeks. Not great. Anywho, anything else on vampires? Are we ready for Glottkin?
Let's go for Glottkin.
Let's go. The goat.
So yes, they revealed the Nurgle Lord for, I suppose, the Warriors of Chaos Lord for the End Times DLC.
Lords,
is, of course,
if I may.
Lords, of course. Sorry, my apologies. So Glottkin, which is a big guy with 2 little guys. Well, one little guy, one slightly bigger little guy on his head. And we didn't really get much for this. We just got some units and some stats. But the Glottkin itself seemed like a big old giant monster with loads of armor piercing, breath abilities, and it's called a Wizard Lord in the tooltip, but it didn't appear to have any spells. But of course, as it said in the screen, and probably says in the screen now, all of this is subject to change, so stuff may not be accurate, but we're just getting the gist. So it looked like a pretty cool unit. It looked fantastic. The animations are all neat. There's not really much you can say about it at this point, unless you guys have some like lore tips on what the Glottkin is going to do in the end times.
The Glottkins are the ones who are invading Middenheim, I think it is. Yeah, probably. Where they murder Carl, and they also almost murder Vlad, but Vlad is like dueling the dude with a scythe. I think it's like the older brother, the leader melee man who can throw his scythe as well, and it comes back like Thor's hammer.
Yeah, we
I
saw
think
that in the thing.
The scytherang, and he but at the last strike he just turns in a cloud of bats and he's like
hell
so
he just floats away.
Yeah. So
why can you not turn to a cloud of bats in game?
Yeah, he can do that in SFO, I think, which is pretty cool. Because that's like, yeah, he can transform into any animal like wolves and whatnot. Like that's a von Karstein thing that comes to the territory of that bloodline, that you can become, Dracula, woodland monsters.
In back in the day, I can't remember if she has it now. I seem to remember Isabella being like the vampire, like she got bonuses like fellbacks and direwolves and stuff, which was really neat, apart from they were a bit shit.
Terrible.
I mean, she used to have like what was like 5+ armor piercing for vampires for bats or something, which was insane. Because if you have 3 or 4 or 5 bats, they don't have model collision. So if you would just surround them like the old timey Mutalisk strat you would do in StarCraft 2, where you would instead of like clicking on something, you would just park them over, like you just fly them over, press stop, and then you would just dive in on them. Like with the bat stuff, because the Mutalisk would shoot, but you just dive in, then they just kill off like Iron Breakers in like 5 seconds. That was pretty funny. But that was nerfed because that wasn't fun enough.
Oh, sorry. There's my vampire counts having a little bit of joy and a little bit of whimsy ruining your game, CA. So alongside the Glottkin, we got the putrid. I've wrote Blinkings, but it's almost certainly not that. It's probably Bile Kings or something.
Light
Kings, there we go. Yeah, Blinkings. The Kings of Bling. And they were monstrous infantry with 3 variants, which just seemed to be like slow-moving Minotaurs. Like they just had a big axe. They were quite heavily armored. They were quite slow.
They felt a little bit
Nurgle.
like the Nurgle ogres felt like.
Yeah. So.
But they are more. So it's like 32 of them in a unit.
Yeah.
Very heavily armored.
Yeah. I mean, they're a very Nurgle unit. They're slow. They deal a decent amount of damage. Quite a lot of arm-piercing damage to Nurgle. But they just lean on the defense and the poison quite a lot. So, no. I feel bad not having much to say about these vicious units. Like, you can talk about a unit in 2 seconds. Unless you're actually using it, you don't really know how it's going to perform.
Yeah, I mean, the Putrid Blight Kings are like really, really high tier lore-wise units anyway. So they are very, very strong, or should be anyway.
Mm. And then the Chaos Siege Giant, which is, they directly said, is a giant that should be a little bit better off against missiles, because it has 15 missile resistance and then 110 armor with a little, I believe that's 360 degree, or directional shield, sorry. Directional shield. So if you hit in the front, it takes less. Hit in the back, it takes more. So should be a little bit better versus peasant archers, but my dog just threw up maybe. They'll still get the job done. He just did like a little cough. Check his eye. Yeah, but yeah, he's fine. So yeah, cool. It has ripping blades. It has yellow ball. It has some abilities.
I love the always CA with like this thing. It gets killed by missiles constantly, and then someone is doing like this. What's it called? The tape thingamabob.
Yeah.
I'm losing my
Same.
words right now because it's like late. It's very late, and I streamed Rogue Trader for like 9 hours. It's read out loud, so my mind is
we
not
appreciate
much
it.
in there.
We appreciate it.
So just put that in like 15%. Yeah, that's how CA talks. Meh. Canonically.
Yeah, they flex tape it definitely. But I mean, it looks like a good giant. It's pretty. Wow, that's pretty slow. I didn't even realize that. It's got 100 leadership. Again, all this subject to change. I'm sure it'll be the best giant, but the best giant.
I like giants. I think giants are great.
Yeah, unless you have one arrow.
That's literally because you just want representation in the game.
That's true. That's
like I always said, like they should really differentiate between the giants. Otherwise, like make the Beastman giant, for example, make that one like an actual like wild thing that just runs at like 60 speed or something like that, like twice as fast.
Give it 88
Start
speed. I don't give a
out.
shit. Give it 95.
Yeah,
leave it the same as the Brood Horror.
No, just running out of the woods like roar, and like
Can you imagine
that
how
would be
fucking scary it'd be
terrifying.
for something that big to move that fast in game?
Yeah, exactly. And like the because the Norscan one has like the frost aura around this. The Chaos one can have some other aura, I guess. This one could be obviously has 110 armor as well. The Chaos Siege Giants.
Yeah.
It would be so cool to have the Beastman one move in like 50, 60 or something like that. That would be really nice. I don't know why. I think so.
Definitely. But yes, it's a giant. It's cool. And then the final unit, which was the Basilisk, which is by far the best animated one. It's beautiful. I cannot deny it. It's a real cool looking unit. I really like it. And they described it as a support monster, which I think just means it has an aura and it has some abilities and it does some decent damage and it's quite fast. That's 82 speed, so that's going to be quite a demon. 70 armor, decent attack, very good armor piercing damage, and looks good. seems to be tearing up those whatever it is it's got on Thanquol, are they?
That does look good. I like his little scuttly
Yeah.
animation.
8 limbs. Apparently they made a joke that they went to the animation department and were like, right, we got a monster with 8 limbs, and then the animation team came back and were like, all right, we've also added an animation where it eats an enemy unit whole. And they're like, oh, okay. Very nice. Yeah, cool.
That's good. I like that. Well, I'm assuming that's going to get added to the Beastman roster because everything does.
Yes, they did. They did touch on that and say that they probably will, but they haven't decided yet.
It's also a fun fact about them. They live around the southern realms, especially around like Estelia Tilia, but also the very cool place Lucini. And I always think about Lucini. Every time I hear it, I always think about the little Javas from Star Wars. They're like, Lucini, Lucini. That's how I imagine canonically it's pronounced. Canonically.
So yeah, that was the end of the things, and then they did a tease for some like other units by showing aspects of them. I don't know. It could be anything. Beats me. No idea.
Yeah. Also, we have already talked about that. Sega put out artwork for Lord's End Times. Obviously, it has like some form of rat lord with a humongously mutated and modified rat ogre. And considering he has tons of horns as well, just like Thanquol would, and the other ones it looks like Bone Ripper he's riding on. I mean, first of all, we just got to say, how reliable is this Sega website?
This leaking.
And also, there are probably a lot of Grey Seers with that many horns riding on a humongous, mutated, largest rat ogre monster ever. That is probably the 9th rat ogre monster they are riding on.
I mean, yeah,
so honestly,
I could name 9 and I don't know anything. I'm not gonna, but I could.
Yeah. Yeah, do you guys know the name of all the Bone Rippers?
Steve, Jonathan,
Bone Ripper Steve,
Clark.
It's Bone Ripper. All of them.
So yeah, it was an open secret. Everyone knew that Thanquol was going to be the last guy, but it's nice to have it confirmed. So we have like this is like
it's not. I don't know if confirmed. Only if we trust this Mr. Sega man.
This is a bizarre leak by Sega.
Am I pronouncing this right?
Sega. I don't know. Speaking of seeing guys, on Sega, get it? You can see Boris there, and it's just like this rat that is riding another giant rat. These 3 people atop a thing. The literal embodiment of death. Boris. He's gonna do it.
Beard.
I gotta say that when you check the new voice actor is really cool. I really like that they added him, but I think the old model for Boris is way better.
Yeah,
really?
Can we get a comparison of that? Is he more saturated or less saturated? I gotta know.
How far up the saturation slider did they go?
Hold on, I'll post it here, and you can post this later on as well.
Yeah. Oh, yep, cool. Like I said, it feeds into like the end times events. So maybe Boris will have one.
There we go. I'll post it there. I know it's like lighting and stuff like that.
Wow, that is a downgrade.
I know it's lighting, all that stuff, but I still feel like the old model had like the helmet out, so you could like really see the shade, and it's like helping him, like a little baseball cap or something. And the other one is just like, how does he even put that on? Right?
It looks like it.
Yeah, it's like, bring me more lube. I shall put on the helmet.
Yeah, I think like he's lost a bit of his personality. Like I like his handlebar mustache in the old one. I like his
but it kind of just looks like the big dude who writes a Demogriffin now as well.
You know, he also, the new guy, I don't know what it is about the art style recently, but there was I think it was that legendary Empire guy that came with Elspeth. Is it the mechanical horse guy?
No,
that's literally who I'm talking about.
Sorry, Fred. But I feel like he just looks weird. He doesn't look like he's from the same game. Like he's too soft. Like all the old characters, like even in that Toddy, like he's got this like really gouged out shine, and then the other guy's like, it looks like he's made of clay. He looks too smooth. Like they've got them all on moisturizer. I don't like it. Putting the beauty filler on my legendary lords, I like them to look a little bit ugly, right? It's just me. It makes me feel better about myself.
Theodore Bruckner.
There you
Theodore
go. Thank
Bruckner,
you.
so we're talking about,
That's it.
yeah. So I think like big bushy beard, yeah. Like I'm pretty sure that the old artwork for Boris Tallbringer probably has the big bushy orange beard, but like how many big bushy orange beards do we need?
True.
Obviously you could like, I'm not saying like if that's your thing, like cool, but at a certain point even I'm going like, wait, who's that?
Yeah, I feel like he's lost a little bit of aura. I prefer the old model, probably. But yeah, how often you will actually look at his face is... I mean, I suppose there'll be any porthole for the entire thing, but anyway, I digress. It's not game ruining. It makes me upset. But yes, so that's all the Total War news / leaks. Believe what you want to believe, folks. We're going to choose to remain skeptical. And see what's
At least I am, because I can't read.
Yeah. So yes.
It's very exciting, especially if we get this before December, so we get more than.
Well, they said on the live stream summer. They're still aiming for summer. They've got like 2 months. Maybe
Yeah.
more.
So 1st of September is the 10-year anniversary.
Ooh,
For,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, but also like I kind of want us
Yeah.
faster than that. But yeah,
Another
if they can
Christmas
beat 10
release,
years,
guys. Another Christmas release.
No.
I love just
Yeah, because
stressing right in the build up to Christmas and just being like, oh shit, I need to like ridiculously grind these weeks, and I'm also trying to grind to get ahead because I'm going to take a little bit of time off.
I want more than one content drop. I mean, I know we got Bashiva, which was nice.
Remember
But
when
more than one a year.
you remember when the game first came out and the promise was 3 DLC packs a year?
I know.
Man, my favorite meme is still the one where from the Reddit where somebody's like having the old hype like hope posting basically the Reddit had like they can just print money, they can just like add all the DLCs, they can add like Nippon, they can add Ind, they can have like the hinterlands, everything is gonna be cool. And then it's just the dude from Interstellar behind the like bookcase like is yelling.
I mean, yeah,
I
like,
also saw an old short video where Total War content creator had like, they can actually put in like all of these places and all these lore stuff like that. And then the comments were like, wow, this lady aged like milk. Like, dang.
I mean, I think all of us had like, we were just like, oh, well, CA can do no wrong, you know, they just released banger DLCs. The game's been going for years. It's had regular content drops. It's been such a banger. And then Warhammer 3 came out and they just took a giant shit in the bed. And we were like, oh no. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to approach it like they cannot possibly fuck this DLC up. They have to make it a banger. They have no choice. It's like there is so much riding on this DLC being good and being one of the biggest DLCs that they've ever dropped. That it has to be good. I'm still going to remain skeptical that it could be bad.
I mean, I'm way more hype about this one than I am with 40K.
Yeah, I do want to see more 40K because the gameplay that they show is like, wow, this looks pretty, but I would like to play it. Although they did mention closed beta this year, so we'll probably get that semi soon.
Yeah.
They'll probably drop it at the same time as end time, so we're just like doing everything at the same time, making content. Oh my god, what a world! What a world!
Yeah.
Me
The problem with 40K, I think, is I just haven't seen enough of it. Like, it looks cool, but
yeah, I just want to see more campaign stuff. But it's what it is. So yes, that's all the Warhammer news. Is there any other topics anyone want to talk about? We're just going to dip straight into what we've been doing. We've been playing.
We can just dip in. I think I don't have that long of a list. I've been grinding goddamn Rogue Trader for like 2 weeks. So that's like it's such a long game when you stream it and you read everything out loud. It takes a long ass time to go through it. It took me like I think it was like 12 days on that to get through Act 2. Act 2 is by far the largest act in it.
yes,
so
it's huge. Act 2 is huge.
Yeah, so after that it was like 4 days on that, and now I'm in like close to the end of Act 4 basically. but that one is huge.
Yeah, I've not been playing that much. I will probably talk about the campaign that I've been playing. So I did some streams for some reason. I was just like, oh, I'm playing this campaign. I might as well stream it. And I've never regretted anything. No, it's all right. So let's start with that then. So
Yeah.
if you two played the Walk with the Dragon mod,
No.
It's quite an expansive. I wouldn't say a Cathay overhaul, but it gives them a story-led campaign. First of all, the original mod is in Chinese, so you do have to use an English patch. And the English patch really doesn't, like, the text that they've put on the mod page does not tell you. It's like, yeah, there's some new units and there's some new events. You load up the game and it's like, there's a mechanic that's like the Imperial Mandate from the Empire, where, you know, all the lands of Cathay are under threat. And if they're not owned by Cathay, you suffer giant penalties, and then the more that you get, the better it becomes. And then alongside all of that, there are events literally every single turn that's like, this thing is happening, what do you want to do? So some of them will be like, oh, there's a giant battle from the Chaos Dwarves, for example. Do you want to help? And you're like, you can either say yes or you can say no, and then that battle will proceed. And then the Chaos Dwarves, they will keep like those 5 stacks if they don't lose them. And then if you beat them, you get to keep that army. So you get to get like a free army. But that sounds incredibly overpowered. And I assure you it is not, because constantly the rebels inside Cathay, like the ones that you fight as, I think you find them as both Zhao and Miao, they get like ridiculous armies full of like super elite high tier units. The people outside the walls, all the Warriors of Chaos, even like the generic ones, there are so many of them. The Great Bastion falls and you suffered horrendous penalties, and Chaos just gets all these boosts into your land. It's really hard to describe this mod because it is just so many events of so many things happening, and all of them are fucking you square in the ass. Really, not in a good way. It's very unpleasant, but it's so much fun. It's so challenging. It's so difficult. It throws so many armies at you. And I honestly had such a blast playing it, and I lost my campaign because it got to the point where I think I counted somewhere in the realm of 40 enemy armies spread across Chaos, Skaven, other threats. And I was just like, there is no way that I can conceivably win this, because I don't have any way to recruit armies fast enough to take them on. And I cannot recommend it enough. And the units in them are all... This is coming from me, who is like not a difficult games person and like doesn't like when my campaigns get too tough. But it was such a blast to play because it was just so stressful and constantly kept me like, all right, so like reading what this event's doing. Oh God, does this mean that Tama Chan Uwu is going to come down? And then Tama Chan Uwu came down with 10 armies right next to my settlements. And I was just like, oh. It is a bit army slop, I will say. There's a lot of armies, but it's fun.
Those are pretty cool though. I remember like one of the best campaigns I played was like the Cao Cao from the last DLC, where you have like like 30 settlements already, and just like big armies everywhere. You just got to fight. And I remember the first 3 turns took me 5 hours on it. That was just great.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it gave me a bit more of an appreciation for like, I got an army that was led by, I think they're called like Yunlin, which is this lady who's a spellcaster and also has Cav, and she had like 8 Longma Riders, and I always thought Longma Riders, they're like fine. She had some insane, they had like 100, I think they reached the charge bonus cap, they had 128 charge bonus, and so I was fighting these vampire counts against like 3 stacks of them, and I was like, right, front lines, you stay there, and do not shatter no matter what you do, and then the Longmas were just like, whoosh, 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 and they managed to like fend off 3 armies. I think my army was under 1,000 units, and I killed like 6,000 vampire counts. It was such a blast, but holy shit, it's really, really tough. Like I've been playing it again today just on like easy with all the difficulty turned down, and there were some battles that I was even like, yeah, I'm struggling on like easy because of just the sheer numbers of what they were throwing at you. And I was playing on easy to get through and see the different events, okay? If you toss your judgment at me, I could see you monsters. You can judge me.
I judge no one. I judge no one for playing on a difficulty that they are comfortable with.
Unless it's easy.
Oh yeah, those guys are scrubs.
Yeah, it's great, and I'm doing a video for it. It was going to be when this is coming out, but the top one is kind of took precedence. So Tuesday. No wait, next Friday. It's one of these days. It is coming at some point soon. And then the roster's also like massive. Like there's almost 100 new units, I think, spread across legendary lords, heroes, regiments of renown. Honestly, it's crazy. And the way you recruit them is also so good. It's just like loads of events, loads of missions where you have to go somewhere, fight different people. It's fantastic. Can't recommend it enough.
That sounds awesome.
I've received comments talking about it.
Do you get to like recruit a ton of them, or do you just get like those units and those are the ones you have?
Well, there's new units in their like standard recruitment buildings that you can get, which I always love integrating them very well into that. But then there's also just a crapload of units you summon through Regiments of Renown when you complete missions. But a lot of them have like more capacity. So there was one Regiment of Renown that was Cathayan Warriors that were just like a decent mid-tier sword unit. And there were technically a Regiment of Renown recruit that way, but they were just kind of like a generic unit that you had a certain capacity for. So it worked in a breadth of different ways. And there were so many heroes and so many legendary lords. There's a lot. It really makes... I'm of the belief that Cathay, as they are now in vanilla, are one of those factions that is so close to being really cool, but just isn't quite there. And this mod really does just kind of like give them a little push, and it makes all the shit mechanics, although it makes caravans even more fucking worthless, because you send a caravan and there are just 8 stacks of Tamach, and you're just like, well, that's done.
I saw that. I saw you sending caravans out, and they're just instantly dead.
Yeah, I like recruit 2 at the start, and I was like, all right, once these 2 die, I'm not making any more because it's a waste of time. But it really gives them a good push. And I always love a narrative thing, and it haven't given you a clear goal. And it's I just can't speak the praises enough. I've got a few comments about it over the years, and I've always looked at it and been like, oh, it just looks like more units, because they don't really talk about the campaign stuff on the mod page that much, which they really should.
Yeah, strange. I'll have to give that one a look.
Yeah, apart from that,
Yeah,
I've not really played much. I've just kind of been grinding Overwatch with my friends, and then that's it. Just like working on various things here and there. Oh, I'm playing a boatload of Tomodachi Life because I like having just a bunch of couples on my island, and some of them keep breaking up, and it's really pissing me off because you're like, guys, you will kiss and you will be together and you will be happy, and because it makes me happy. You don't have a say in this, and they won't.
Which game did you say?
Tomodachi Life. Oh,
right.
Yeah, I've got all these couples that are together in this game called Warhammer 3. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried to play the. I remember you mentioned Walking Dead Saints and Sinners for VR.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad.
I was like, I have become such a psychopath. I was like, this is so slow. And then like a zombie comes at me, and I was like, down, take a bottle, crash it, murder. And then it's like, see them drop. It's like, and then just keep on walking. Because I become such a psychopath in Blade and Sorcery, because I got into that again. I lost like 6 pounds just standing there, like swinging, like doing like retired person park Tai Chi every evening, basically. So now I just, like start a new character, no levels or anything like that. Go into one of the levels, somebody's just standing off a cliff, sneak up on them, take their weapon, stab them in the neck, see somebody else coming along, take out the weapon, swing it at them, then just keep on going like that. Yeah. Like Goblin Slayer. It's just nice.
Saints and Sinners I didn't mind it, but I didn't love it. It did feel very, very slow. And like the story just kept having like, I hate when VR games have story where you're just stood there and all you're doing is listening. And I get that they can't really do that another way without having cutscenes that you watch, like the Resident Evil 4 VR port. But it's so boring, and some games do it a lot better than others. Like there were so many times when you just stood in that bus listening to a guy talk on the radio, and I'm not even looking at his face. I'm just looking at nothing, and he's talking at me, and it's so boring.
Yeah.
But the gameplay itself I found to be pretty nice and meaty.
I thought it was, I don't know, after, I think I had like an hour, and then I saw like a gas canister, picked that up, went to a zombie and shot the gas canister, and then it's like logged off because my character died as well. It's just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, the new, did any of you try the new Stellaris DLC, the Nomads?
Not yet. I do want to hop back on Stellaris, but I'm not sure if I'm going to hop on the DLC specifically. How's the reviews? Is it mixed, which means it's good, or is it mostly negative, which means it's all right?
Let's check it out. Nomads was pretty broken at starts. It is mixed, yeah. Very likely because of those things. Yeah, it's all right, but there is a lot
every
of bugs.
Paradox DLC is mixed.
That's how you know that how you know that it's good. If it's mixed, it's good. That's what I'm saying. If it's mostly negative, then it's probably not great. But if it's mixed, that means it's decent.
It was only the Machine Age, I think, that came out with like positive. I still remember like when EU5 came out and it was like a 78%, and Paradox nerds were like, "It's the best thing ever, best release ever."
I'm just looking through their DLCs now. Yeah, the only one that's positive so far is Machine Age. Everything else is either mixed or negative. Oh, sorry, the Leviathan Story Pack, mostly positive.
Leviathan Story Pack is pretty good. You can have bubbles.
Ancient Relics, positive.
Bubbles.
Yeah, I do want to hop back on Stellaris and make some updated stuff. But
It's cool. I just had my community event as well, community multiplayer event. So that was stressful. Very fun though.
Good. Anything else, or is it just those two? Well, those three, I guess.
I've been playing Age of Wonders 4 a lot because the DLC came out, and I love Age of Wonders 4. I think it's just
me too.
It's just a great game.
It's fantastic.
It is
so
a
much
great
fun
game.
Did we talk about it last stream as well? Like this DLC. I can't remember when we did the last stream.
We mentioned that we were playing it, but it was still under.
Oh right,
yeah.
So. Yeah, because that's a great DLC as well.
It is, yeah. It's a really good DLC. Really enjoyed it. But I still think the best DLC was the Nomads one.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
because I just kind of love the Nomads. I love the Nomad playstyle. I don't know why. Apparently, it's very weak, but I just think it's a lot of fun, and I thoroughly enjoy myself.
The Nomads aren't weak at all. That's it's like literally the strongest playstyle, I think.
Well, apparently, I guess if you're looking at it from the perspective of like the meta gamers, then it's
meta
a very slow.
Have they ever met a fucking girl before? Right.
It's a very slow play style, which means that particularly like the scavengers, if you do not get the wonders you need, you are fucked. So there are much better cultures to play as. However, one of the things I love about Age of Wonders 4 is just being able to wander around and have a lot of just explore and just have a lot of fun.
Wonders, you might say.
Exactly, I would say that. And that's very hard to do when you've got a city to defend. But if you could just bring the city with you, then who the fuck cares? Like, they have to come to you. If they want to attack your city, they're going to have to follow you around as you wander around doing your fun, jaunty little things. So I think the Nomads is great just for that. And, you just slap your city down, 10 turns later, you're gone. Like the Littlest Hobo. If Littlest Hobo was capitalism.
Ooh. Oh, sour ends. Hey, so you've been playing all this Age of Wonders 4, you've been making any content for it?
I did, and I want to do some more, even though it never does well.
I know, I love that game so much. I'm like, every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I want to come back to this game and cover it, and then I do, and I'm like, oh, this is why I don't. Like, the game rocks, and people play it, but no one cares about watching it, which is fine. Here's what it is.
And I did like the new tomes though from the new stuff. Like you could really go into like demon territory, spider people, stuff like that. It was pretty cool. I really like them. And then you got the super spells as well, which were cool.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, just everything about that game is just fun. It's just there's no lots to do, lots to see.
Yeah,
fun battles.
That makes me want to play it. You got anything else?
Dang, I've really been playing so little now the last bit. I've only been doing like VR games because I've been trying to like find something else than just Blade and Sorcery because I've been doing that.
You've been playing some Dead Effect 2.
Yeah, that's such a shit game. Jesus Christ! I
think I played that and then refunded it.
Yeah, I was like, I got through an hour or something like that, but it was just so bad. It was not good at all. It was like PlayStation 2 graphics and effects. Really bad. Did like Hard Bullet as well, which is like fine, but
have you
it's just one of those.
Pistol Whip?
No, I did install that though.
That rocks. That game rocks. It's
I really need to try that one out.
People describe it as like John Wick VR. It's kind of like Beat Saber, but with a gun, and then you shoot enemies as they appear in time with the music. So it's very much like dodging behind a wall in time with the music. And it depends what map you're playing and what song is playing, but man, it's one of those just fun ass games that will have you punching holes in your wall before you know it.
It's so fun when I've been doing like a lot of military sims and stuff like that as well. And I've noticed that I did not have a lot of training in the military with pistols. But as soon as I get like rifles in these games, it's so much easier, so much easier to aim. It's insane.
Good. Fred's gonna. That's a good one.
Fun fact: we actually had the dude who trained us in shooting was us Olympic silver medalist in ski shooting, and he had some really insane goddamn requirements for us to pass.
trying to find this game that I had on my VR headset, but I can't figure out how to look at what games I have instead of just buying more.
Do be how it is.
What's it called?
Meta, they know how it works.
Is this like mech battling game? I think like I've talked
Underdog?
about it here. Yeah, Underdogs. That game rocks.
Yeah.
That game's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I need to install that one as well.
Yeah, that's really, really good. If you're looking, that had me like pouring sweat and like obviously I'm much less fit than you, but it was like tough.
I'm much less fit than me. I like after a couple of days of doing like the retired person Tai Chi in the living room, like for 3 hours every time, I was like, dang, my back is being sore. Am I old? Like, what's happening now? Standing up and just moving around like for that long, just trying to swing a sword that isn't there and shit. Just
whenever I play, there's like a knockout boxing game in VR. Whenever I play it, I like strain myself because I could just get way too into it. I just put like. Just putting like full tilt body weight into like a hook and then blowing out my shoulder, punching nothing.
I do hate box and stuff like that in VR because it doesn't. You can't do it properly, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't care if you're doing it properly. It doesn't care how much weight you put behind it or anything like that. So you just do like these like silly things based on that works instead. It gets those things I always get mad at. Madge, I tell you. Right.
Any more for any more? Or are we all gamed out?
All gamed out, I believe.
Damn, that's
it's also very late, so
Swift
nothing
episode.
more to.
It's 1 hour and 15 minutes total recording time. That's crazy. That's crazy, Sean. But we just want to quickly convene and talk about all this news because it's exciting. This End Times DLC looks to be shaping up to be a good one, along with the 9.0 update. And so, fingers crossed, we'll keep getting some more information. And if you want more information, guys, then you know where to find it. It's going to be here in this podcast.
Or Sega.
Or Sega. Sega might leak everything.
Whoever those are.
Yeah, whoever Sega is. Sounds eerily Glottkin adjacent. Sega. SCG. No? Okay, fair enough.
No.
All right, I tried. All right, thanks for watching, folks.
It was a spirited attempt.
Thanks for watching, folks. So it sounds like if you want some Rogue Trader, Act 2, Fred will still be on it. So if you want to check out his streams, and if you want
I'm
some
on Act 4.
Oh, never mind. If you want some Act 4 Rogue Trader, then check out Fred's streams. I'll check them out anyway. And if you want some Age of Wonders 4 content, then Monsters Bound. That's your guy. For all your campaigning needs. Truly epic.
I'm only
games.
doing Age of Wonders 4 now.
Yeah,
I'm an Age of Wonders 4 content
dedicated
creator.
Age of Wonders 4 content creator.
And I only do Act 2 Rogue Trader.
Yeah, they do nothing else. If you want anything else, you should not look at them all. Just avoid them.
Yeah.
Block them, actually.
Yeah, that's what's on the menu.
Yeah, right. Hopefully see you soon for some more news. So, bye.
Bye.
Bye.